If you look closely beneath the tangled roots of an abandoned garden shed, you will find a thriving, open-source classroom. Here, a dedicated root mouse runs a strict educational program. His primary curriculum is applied mathematics, specifically teaching the youngest generation of mice how to count so they can secure enough rations before the winter freeze sets in. To keep his students engaged, he relies on a highly specific teaching tool. Watch this tiny field mouse trying to extract an oversized purple beet from the dirt. The wild, brightly colored vegetables naturally growing here make the abstract concept of counting highly visible. Without access to these colorful, naturally occurring visual aids, the young mice will fail to grasp the math required to calculate their winter stockpiles. Then, catastrophe strikes from above. A family of giant rabbits claims the shed and immediately begins tearing up the surrounding vegetation to build a home. The mother rabbit is a specialized beet connoisseur, preparing for the upcoming summer festival. She organizes the wild beets into precise rows for her own kitchen, while noting that she is still missing her most coveted treasure, the rare black truffle beet. The root mouse's open-source classroom is suddenly walled off. The resources his students rely on for their education are now being hoarded by a giant who views them as ingredients for a prize-winning cake. This sudden enclosure of the wild garden triggers an immediate crisis. Shut out of their educational grounds, the mouse colony faces the very real threat of starvation when winter arrives. The root mouse adapts to the sudden loss of territory by moving his syllabus entirely to the graveyard shift. Under the cover of darkness, he guides his students directly into the fortified vegetable beds. This diagram illustrates the new lesson plan. As students correctly count the rows, the teacher mathematically subtracts 1 nibbled beet per night, converting it into a fractional reward. That fraction is then processed into dried blocks, systematically filling their winter survival quota. Above ground, the mother rabbit tallies her inventory every morning. She notices a highly precise daily deficit of exactly 1 nibbled beet, a theft that threatens the integrity of her festival preparations. The root mouse views his nightly excursions as a highly disciplined educational exercise. The mother rabbit views them as a malicious, targeted agricultural heist. To stop the steady loss of her crop, the mother rabbit introduces a new security variable into the ecosystem. She ties tiny, sensitive bells to the stems of the remaining plants. The root mouse initiates his next subtraction lesson and immediately springs the trap. The acoustic alarm system rings out across the dark garden. The father rabbit ambushes the school. Look at the scale of this confrontation. The tiny teacher frozen in the blinding glare of a massive lantern. The giant towers over him and levies a furious accusation, labeling the educator a common vegetable thief who is ruining their new home. The survival curriculum has officially collapsed, leaving the tiny pedagogue cornered by an angry apex predator. Instead of scurrying away, the mouse stands his ground. He addresses the giants with a professional introduction. He is not a thief, but the beet counter. He explains his methodology. He assumed the beets were wild and tells the rabbits he was only taking the minimum required to teach his students how to survive the winter. As he defends his choices, he offers a critique of the neighboring field. He finds those dull, black beets on the right of this botanical illustration completely useless compared to the vibrant colors on the left. The father rabbit's anger begins to cool as he realizes the tiny creature isn't a vandal, but a fellow specialist with his own set of rules. The confrontation shifts from a hunt to a conversation between two different providers. The mother rabbit recognizes that the mouse's theft was actually a curriculum. She grants him a permanent seed endowment, ensuring his school can thrive without infringing on her own rows. But the mouse's passing comment provides a second, unexpected breakthrough. Those boring black beets in the field are the rare truffle variety Mother Rabbit had been searching for all along. Armed with this new intelligence, she secures her missing ingredient just in time for the festival. She immediately starts harvesting the rare black beets as they tumble off the back of a passing farm tractor. A hostile territorial dispute threatened to starve an entire colony. But by introducing the variable of cross-species communication, the rabbits secured their festival cake, the mice secured their education, and both species achieved their goals.